Okay, Lou. What do we do this week?
Yeah, I know. We got to figure out what we're going to talk about this week.
Yeah, what are we going to talk about?
Whoa!
Yo, look back.
He's back!
Oh.
Oh my gosh!
What's happening?
Yo, man.
Yeah, you've been missing. You've been missing for like weeks, dude. What? How'd it go at Area 51?
You were Batman.
Wait. Yeah, you were Batman for a week.
Batman.
That's right. And I think you were fighting the abominable snowman that one time.
Well,
Like what was that all about, dude? You gotta tell us. You gotta tell us. Come on.
Well,
All right. I know you can't say secret stuff, but like, come on, it's us. It's us.
Well, you know, it's a funny story, but only thing I'm gonna say, it's kind of hard to get into, but it all started with this and that, and you know, and everything went crazy and it's wild, and oh my goodness, and that's how I saved the world from aliens.
Wow!
What? Amazing!
That's insane!
Only thing is, I can't repeat that again. So
Yeah, no, I know. With that story, too.
Man.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to TFSPOD, also known as 24/7 podcast. This is 24/7 Lou, and that's
Ricard saying, "What a treat to have the one-man band back." Amazing.
and that's
the one-man band, and it's good to be back, and hopefully I don't have to do that ever again.
Yeah. Considering what you said in that story, maybe we shouldn't.
Right?
Maybe we should have your drink separate from us for a bit.
Yeah,
and that model for was pretty good. Anyway,
yeah.
This is the wrestling podcast home of super fans slapping each other with facts, opinions, and wait for it, predictions. Also the home of Goldie. Yes, Goldie's right there. The one and only original Goldie. Also our 24/7 TFS Pod Championship too, which is a lot. There's two titles. There's two titles always on the line. But in this episode, we will be talking about...
Yeah, this episode's more about facts and opinions as opposed to...
Yeah, exactly. The other two portions of what we do on this show are facts and opinions, and maybe some predictions. Woo! So yeah, since we have predictions that are coming up, not this week, next week, we have two big shows going on.
Double or nothing! Woo!
Yeah, 2 points.
Said all 12 of AEW's fan base.
Ooh.
13 with Dave Meltzer.
Ah! Shots fired. We're already starting. Look at that.
Yeah, and also something's happening in another country at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
The King and
King of
Queen.
the Ring. King of the Ring. King and Queen of the Ring. That's right.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Wait, what's going on here? All right. Anyway, I have some good news for one of the topics that we are going to be talking about later on. But yes, in this episode, what we're doing is talking about, it's going to be a clickbait fest of wrestling topics, from TNA stuff, from WWE stuff, from AEW topics. So, since I was voting for it to have a topic on talking about the scoreboard for the next 30 minutes.
No, you were outvoted on that.
Yes,
we outvoted you via committee. The interns even said they didn't want to do that nonsense. Nobody wants to talk about your lead, Lou.
Oh, come on. Yes, my lead, not main event Jeff. Don't talk about that one.
Yeah, main event Jeff deserves it. It's his second year.
I know. But yes, okay.
He's got a story to complete, okay?
All right. Speaking of stories to complete, one of the topics we're going to have to discuss here is Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. Reimagining wrestling feuds where neither competitor is cleared to compete.
Right? In what world did we think one of the hottest wrestling feuds going on Raw would be between two injured guys?
Yeah, no kidding.
Let's have a debate.
Yes.
Well, the debate's obvious. Drew McIntyre is doing way better than anybody else in this feud. Like, come on. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was making people not believe he was real. Yeah, the greatest trick CM Punk ever pulled was looking like a drug addict without doing any drugs.
Well, I'd like to rebuttal that one and think that the best one that's doing this right now is Damian Priest, because Damian Priest is the champion right now, and not only that, absolutely ripped into Drew McIntyre this past Monday. So, you know, I get it that this is between Drew and CM Punk, which I think eventually will lead to Damian Priest dropping the title to one of the two. Who's it going to be? I don't know.
I didn't even think that would go that way.
I don't know who it's going to be, but it's going to have to be one of these two guys. But I got to tell you, Damian Priest absolutely tore Drew to shreds on Monday. It was great. Yes, Drew had some good barbs. Like the one we talked about earlier. Oh, it's like, say what if you think Damian Priest is a paper champion? What? and then Damian Priest without missing a beat. I'm still champion. Drew looked at him like,
hey,
oh.
But Drew had a more here's the barb that got me, where Drew goes, yeah, you got a really inspirational story behind your championship reign and all this other stuff and where you came from, but you shouldn't be world champion. I mean, my neighbor Dave has an inspirational story to tell. That doesn't mean he should be world champion either.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look, all in all, I'm loving the fire on the mic from all people. It's spreading to everybody else.
It's really stepping everybody's game up, which is what I've really been liking. It feels almost like NXT promo school, but like, you know, doesn't need, but like actually it's professionals doing it at this point. Because I mean, Drew McIntyre has brought his A game quite a bit. CM Punk has always been great on the mic. I mean, there's no debating that. But Damian Priest, man, I gotta tell you, Damian Priest really showed me.
Didn't he just resign too?
Who, Damian Priest?
Yeah.
Finn Balor did.
Finn Balor did.
I thought Damian Priest also resigned recently.
I mean, are we surprised? Yeah, we gave him the world title. All right, you're gonna leave, right? You're gonna go to that other company that will not push you to this level? Okay.
Yeah, it's like I said, this has been an amazing feud. I mean, you know, me and Rickard, we saw WrestleMania at his house. We saw the moment that Damian Priest cashed in. You know, this whole it was a square, like a four-sided square. Obviously, that's what they are. Excuse me. Turn into a triangle, and now Damian Priest is a part of it. And Damian Priest even told Drew, "Hey, this is on you, man." He's like,
right?
He's like, that was
a great line.
Oh, it was amazing.
Go ahead. Yeah.
He goes, what you need to do is find a mirror, look at it, and then blame that asshole. and then he said, he's like, dude, this is all on you, man. I wanted to cash in on Seth so many times, but you stopped me multiple times. And you even said it yourself. If you were smart, you would wait until I win and then cash in on me. And what happened? It's exactly what I did. So this is on you, bro. Like, you could have, we could have lit. He said we could have lit it up at WrestleMania, but no, you wanted this. Is like, you let CM Punk consume you so much that CM Punk was more important to you than the title. Punk was, and your wife. And then he said, let's also not forget that you got your ass handed to you by a one-armed man.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the thing about good promos, though. They're based on a kernel of truth. Some level of truth is brought into the promo, and he rode that wave really good right there. I think that was the best Damian Priest promo he's done since becoming champion.
Yeah, I would have to say, yeah, I think so.
So what do you guys think? What do you guys think is going to go with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk? Do you think when they eventually get cleared by SummerSlam, by what, Survivor Series?
I think the obvious pick to win the title, if I'm not sold. I'm not sold on McIntyre and Punk eventually leading to one of them getting the championship. But if that is the case, I'm rooting for my boy Drew to win it, only because you have Seth Rollins win it back eventually, and then CM Punk versus Seth Rollins set up for next year.
Okay.
But a lot can happen.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, we'll see when both of them are clear to compete. You know, it's gonna be some bangers. Honestly, I mean, there's gonna be some great matches. Who knows? Might very well be there. Might be a triple threat. Might be Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. You know, I mean, I can see that, and I could see Damian Priest maybe not coming out as champion in that one. So who knows? Look, I mean, Damian Priest he fulfilled his whole journey of money at senior Money in the Bank to being World Heavyweight Champion. It's great. I love it.
All right. Well,
it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. Judgment Day's on its last legs, though. I think this is going to lead to disintegration of Judgment Day.
So no more faction with Judgment Day. All right. Let's see where it goes. Let's move on to the next topic. Saudi Arabia hosting a WrestleMania or a Royal Rumble, money-making opportunity, or is WWE committing treason?
Treason easily.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
Royal Rumble. Look, I think it states. I think it needs to be stated. I don't think there's been a Royal Rumble or a WrestleMania taking place out of North America anywhere, and there are a lot of places more deserving fan-wise. Not to say Saudi Arabia doesn't have fans. Look, if anybody hates me in the chats for this, go ahead. Let me have it now. But honestly, I've watched some Saudi shows. Sometimes they just don't react unless it's the nostalgia acts.
Yes,
and it's very unfair to current wrestlers.
I agree.
Sometimes.
Can we somehow ship the French fans to Saudi Arabia and have a loud crowd over there?
Yeah.
Well, and that way, A, they have a loud crowd making noise. B, they make a lot of money.
That's another thing. The reason WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble make so much money is because people are willing to travel to go see those shows. How many people are really going to be willing to travel to Saudi Arabia?
That's a tough one. When they open up that WWE Experience thing, it's similar to a Hall of Fame or something, but who's going over there? It's not for people outside. It's for people in the country.
Yeah. How is a wrestling fan and his girlfriend supposed to go see? Oh wait, no.
How's a wrestling fan and his kids supposed to go over there?
Well, I mean, it's Saudi Arabia, which I don't think a lot of people are going to be very willing to travel over there. Personally, there's a lot of security issues out there, and on top of that, like Rick Hart alluded to, there's a lot of fans out there that are very nostalgia driven. Case in point, I can't tell you how many times I go on Instagram, for example, and anytime there's a Cody story, which this is gonna be great. Anytime there's a Cody story, you see all of these Saudi Arabians and all these Middle Eastern guys just going Roman Reigns. Oh, because Roman's number one. Roman's the best ever. He kind of sounds like somebody we know in our group.
Oh my God!
It's like that's all they talk about. Oh, Cody sucks. Roman's the best. Like, dude, get over yourself. You probably don't even know half the matches that Roman was in. It's because since he's the champion. Acknowledge. Whatever, man. Like that's the one thing that I've noticed about there. A lot of fair weather fans out there. That it's hell. Perfect example. Look at the greatest Royal Rumble. Who did the Prince say he wanted? He wanted the Ultimate Warrior and Yokozuna. Like, come on, bro.
For,
Really?
for those who aren't aware, both of those people are dead.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they were dead for a while, even at that point. Warrior having died in 2014, and Yokozuna, who died in 2000. I mean, for the love of God, you mean to tell me that you're a wrestling fan, but you don't know that okay, I get it. Sometimes people don't know, but Yokozuna was very publicized, and the Ultimate Warrior was even more publicized because he won his award at the Hall of Fame, or rather, he got inducted, and he died the next day. Well, 2 days later.
2 days later, yep.
Look at the last Raw he was on before he passed. Look at his face. Look at his face, and you can see him talking. In fact, my dad, God rest his soul, we were watching that show because my dad remembered the Ultimate Warrior from back in the days, and I was looking. I go, Dad, he doesn't look good. He was like, damn, yeah, he looks like shit. Like something's up. And then the next day he dies, and I go, Dad, he died. It's like, what? Yeah, man. Like so we see it. It's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some fans out there make some comments that are. They're not following the process.
Oh my gosh! Oh, props to the guy picking the clips, man. I put that one in. I'm the one that suggested that, and I just got hit by surprise by that. Oh, man. Needless to say, if you're not going to get the money at the gate, if you're not going to get the money at the gate from fans traveling from across the world to see your show because it's a big 4 pay-per-view, WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble, then the only compromise is, one, the Saudis put in a bunch of money up front for the guaranteed payout, and then whatever fans show up locally show up, and maybe internationally also. And then if you're going to compromise, you do 2 nights of WrestleMania, one in the U.S., one in Saudi Arabia. And then maybe you have somebody do a crossover where they come from where they're at night 1 with Saudi Arabia, and then they show up at night 2. You got to fly them out in the private jet, make it a surprise appearance.
Oh my God!
First ever time crossing time zones to be on 2 matches at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Or hey, I've said it. WrestleMania at 1 o'clock and WrestleMania Saudi at 1 o'clock with fireworks, and then a WrestleMania America at 7 o'clock at night with fireworks. WrestleMania everywhere.
That's too much. That is way too much.
WrestleMania everywhere. 4 nights, 10 nights, 2 WrestleManias a year.
No. That's
WrestleMania night 3 and night 4.
Mania Wrestle.
My gosh.
Have 4 main events.
Oh my! Yeah, WrestleMania 3 and 4. Oh my God!
In that case, actually, yeah. Actually, you know what I just thought about? You technically could do that. You could do WrestleMania night 1.
Bro, rest in peace to the production team.
Yeah, no kidding. You could be. You could do, like, let's say night 1. Night 1, you could do, let's say, one of the women's championships. Night 2, you could do the World Heavyweight Championship. Night 3, the other women's title, and then night 4, the Undisputed Championship.
One in Australia, one in Saudi Arabia, one in England.
Oh no, hey, they did that one time before. Remember, WrestleMania 2, I think it was.
It took place in 3 different arenas, right?
Yeah.
I told you, not countries, but different areas.
Yeah, different coasts.
Yeah. And I heard that
whenever it was not the same thing. Not the same thing.
Whenever it was the other place, I guess they showed it on screen. I don't know.
And I think some of that. I think part of it was taped too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So
that's just me.
But I feel like this would be tough, to do. I don't know. There would be a lot of logistics involved here.
Well, yeah.
You would need somebody. Triple H would be, because remember, he can't be in 2 places at the same time, not unless he's super flying. So you would need a second. You would need a second in command.
Save that for later. We have that coming up later. One of the topics.
fine. But he would need somebody else looking after the show at the other place if it's going to be that.
We'll get to that in a minute. Let's move on to the next question.
Fine.
Next question is next topic of debate. AEW Tony Khan finally takes a bump in the wrestling ring. Should he be put through a table next, or will AEW shutter its doors before he gets his chance? Sorry, you're closed.
Oh man.
Well,
look. We make a joke about it, but let's face it. AEW shutting its doors is becoming a more real possibility with each passing week. Sometimes, maybe not next month. I'm not gonna go on record saying, "Oh man, within 3 months, like say goodbye."
Hold on.
No,
I want to ask you, what are you going based on this?
What am I going based off of this? This is what I gotta say to that.
You're more happy with some goof saying that you had a 5-star match and the building's a quarter full, we're not in the same business.
Right.
That's what I'm basing it off of. That's what I'm basing it off of. Forget what Dave Meltzer says.
TNA.
No. Okay, all right. You know what? Go ahead. I need to hear somebody agree with me. One man band, say your piece.
It's that. It's so Dave Meltzer, for example, who's become the biggest AEW mark in the history of wrestling, who absolutely, and I know all what this is. It's all because Dave Meltzer doesn't like WWE, because I'm pretty sure he wanted to work for WWE so bad, and Vince McMahon basically told him to shove off. And so since then, he's been super bitter about them. And so now that he has a competition and they love him, the Young Bucks have the Meltzer driver, and basically Dave Meltzer gives them 12 stars for a match, that maybe lasts 5 minutes, and they said, oh, they did the Meltzer driver. It's an automatic 9 stars, and I'm being just hyperbole, obviously, but it's silly. Like this whole thing I told you earlier with Tony Khan. He said, oh, I will never be a part of a storyline. Okay, now is he not only a part of a storyline, he's a part of the storyline. Because basically it's a storyline that crosses over to 2 promotions, because the person that they were targeting is now in WWE. And then on top of that, they're using that to propel a storyline that, in my opinion, is pretty much dead in the water now. Like that storyline is absolutely crap now. You've got basically the new elite of the Young Bucks, Okada, and Jack Perry. Like, what was that meme that I posted a few weeks ago about Jack Perry? And it said, "Hey, this is a stick figure, and this is Jack Perry. Both of these people don't know how to draw."
Oh man, I remember that. Oh my gosh,
that was great. That was a great. And listen, I have nothing against Jack Perry. I really don't. I don't. But you got to call it as is. I'm pulling a Torres here, but in this case, it's an actual plausible story. Jack Perry needed another guy to put him in a front face lock to become relevant. And then now he's a part of a crew who's as believable as the Core, for example.
Oh man.
Yeah. I would honestly pick Heath Slater over those guys.
Yeah, all right.
I would. Genuinely. Heath Slater, in my opinion, is legit compared to those guys. Like, and you guys remember. You guys remember.
Oh, wait a minute. Was that slap towards Heath Slater?
No. It's we're talking like this is being real. Like, Heath Slater's legitimate. As opposed to these guys, man. These guys are parading around like a bunch of retards. Like, I know it's not politically correct to say right now, but whatever. Like, they're called it all friends wrestling, and it's absolutely true. It is all friends wrestling at this point. It's all a bunch of people that are cool with each other. Hey, let's make a show. They don't care about ratings right now. They just care about doing these little storylines that make sense in their eyes. Now, the latest thing that I saw is that they fired Christopher Daniels or not fired him, or maybe they suspended him for 30 days in storyline. Like, come on, man. Dude, Christopher Daniels, no disrespect to him. Like, Christopher Daniels has been a veteran of the business forever and a day. Great wrestler. But Christopher Daniels is way past his prime, bro. Like, he's not, he's not somebody that unfortunately that he's, people are gonna like come out of their seats to watch. I mean, it's the God honest truth.
Yeah.
And
at that point, you're just competing with more TNA fans,
right? Yeah, you are. You absolutely are, or Ring of Honor fans at this point, because at this point, like, come on, this whole thing with Tony Khan, finally taking a bump, which was a crappy bump, by the way. If you guys saw it,
he sold that gut punch terribly. It
was horrible. It was almost like hold on.
You know what? Let me play devil's advocate. Everybody knows that when you get punched in the gut, you react like 10 minutes later from like a delayed impact, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Hey! I just want to remind everyone. That next week we will be doing predictions on Double or Nothing. Here's a little preview of some of the matches that that are going to have. They're going to have Swerve Strickland defend his AEW World Championship against Chris Cage. We have the AEW Women's World Championship, Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb. I don't see that. I don't know why that's a big match there, but that's me commenting on that one. TBS
Where the hell's
Championship.
Mercedes Moné?
No, that's a TBS Championship. Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné.
Oh God!
So she's going after the TBS Championship, not the AEW World Championship. Then we have the guys who got the stuff you guys were talking about before. Anarchy in the Arena, The Elite versus FTR, Darby Allin, and Bryan Danielson.
Wait. So basically, it's just CM Punk's former friends facing the people that got him fired.
And Okada.
Okay, and Okada.
Come on, don't throw Okada in there. Come on.
You're right. That's
don't
fair.
Throw Okada in that
That's
one.
fair. That's fair.
Also,
that said, I would like to note to the viewers that we are reviewing this by being taken hostage. This is not really by choice. We would rather not have to do this. No. Just kidding.
Oh my God. And also too is going to be a TNA Championship barbed wire steel cage match with Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black.
Wow.
So yeah.
Man, I'm very surprised Adam Copeland's willing to do that.
Yeah, I know. But even though I've heard in interviews that he's trying to do all different new things, different moves, and every match that he has now.
Yeah, he's trying to force himself back into retirement. From the sounds of it.
But at least I guess marking off a
personal checklist. Hey, nothing against that. Hey, if Adam Copeland signed to AEW and then realized, oh shoot, this wasn't what the bill of goods I was sold. What about how do I get out of my contract? Oh, I know, injure myself again. Put me in that barbed wire match.
Oh. So yeah, that's what we have going on. So that's kind of a build up to all of what they're trying to do for Double or Nothing, because they don't have their pay-per-views every month. So I guess they got to space stuff out. And I don't know. I don't know if I like that.
Yep, you're right. They do space them out. They have made more pay-per-views over the years though, but it's still not at the point where it's one every month. So
yeah. It's not.
We're not at that point yet, but we're getting close. That was actually one of the original appeals of AEW that since there were so few and far between pay-per-views, the weekly television actually felt like it really wanted to try to get viewers, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, we're just running through the motions.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. TNA Wrestling, the new dominant faction, the System. Is it the second coming of the Clique? Or is it just that sound of everyone collectively changing the channel?
I don't know about you. Well, yeah. Yeah, first things first, TNA, what channel are you on?
Access, take that.
Yeah.
Access and also on Fight TV. 2 channels that not many people have.
Yeah. I can't really speak much on this one because I haven't really been following like I should. So I don't know about.
It's okay. You're missing some of the biggest and absolutely worst offenses to the purity of professional wrestling happened. A burning hammer was not sold.
Oh
properly.
my
It
God,
should
he's
have been a
still with
match
this
ending.
one. He's
So-
still with this
I
one.
should have got a point. I should have got a point on that damn match.
So basically, aces and eights just in 20.
You know what? That's a perfect way of saying it. Aces and eights. How do you have Kurt Hawkins win a match? Or I'm sorry, Brian Myers for the last time. I know, Lou, you're getting mad. But
Me,
how do you
you're
have
getting
Brian?
I got it right.
How do you have Brian Myers win a match for a team that includes Moose and Eddie Edwards?
Stop. Oh my, you know, I don't know why you didn't buy into what was going on. Now, I'm not saying I'm a big fan of the system. I'm just saying I just saw the writing on the wall. But let me add this new bit of news to it. As we're recording this on a Thursday night, on the Thursday night episode of Impact, the system did face that team of Matt Hardy and everyone else there. They faced them and they did lose. The system did finally lose a match.
So
there goes your point.
So the result that should have happened at the pay-per-view happened.
No.
on
It was right in the
television that
pay-per-view.
People aren't watching.
No, don't get it right. It was right on the pay-per-view.
No. Don't get it right. I'm sorry, Lou. I always get it right. Okay.
No, don't get it wrong.
Okay.
They got it right. That's what I was saying.
No.
Got it right.
I'm not out of touch. It's TNA that's out of touch with wrestling. Okay. System should have lost. You had people excited for Broken Matt Hardy, and what did you do? You made him into a jobber.
Oh my God, are you the one now switching sides? You know our ever-ending battle with TNA. I always said that I hated that they're doing that they're giving WWE guys a title shot immediately as soon as they sign in, and you wanted them to stay longer. Now they're staying longer and not winning a title when they show up. So what is it? Where are you at?
Well, the thing is, you
TNA.
finally convinced me. And then when I say, all right, fine, this is how TNA operates, this is how it's going to be, the ex-WWE guy's going to win, they decide, oh, no, Rick Hart's on board with it? No, we can't have that. Make sure the ex-WWE guy loses.
And you know, since after that debate on the last one to win it.
And while we're at it, to add
Ali.
insult to injury, have another ex-WWE guy who just hasn't been in WWE longer get the pin in the match.
Yeah, man. So yeah, the system again. They're trying to do something at TNA. They're holding the titles. That's good, but I think there's a turn there with Masha Slamovich turning on them. So yeah, but you got to read up on that with TNA. Enjoy that. Enjoy that story.
I know. She came out there and just started saying a bunch of things in a foreign language, and they were like, "I think she's excited." I'm just like, ah.
No. During today's episode, she was on the other side of the team celebrating the defeat of the system.
Oh, there you go. TNA gave up on their own storyline.
Like
that
a week into it, and it's tape recorded, and it's taped.
That didn't last long. All right,
So
next topic.
Like 24 hours. Next topic. Oh, someone was talking about maybe someone else should be running something somewhere else for WrestleMania night 3 and 4. And here we go. Stephanie McMahon returning to WWE. Can she salvage her family name's legacy, or should they just have brought back Shane instead?
No, I think unless Ricardo, if you got something to say, already go for it.
No, you go first. You go first.
All right. I think I heard that the only reason why they even brought Stephanie McMahon back was because she completely detached herself from her dad. I heard that story that she's completely ostracized Vince in that sense. So they were willing to bring her in just because of that. But I think finally the McMahon life support, or the McMahon umbilical cord, has been cut, and I think that they've officially gone away from that. Like, I think that's it. I think whatever was left of the McMahon era officially died at WrestleMania. I think that really ushered in the Triple H era. And I just don't see I just don't see him. Vince, definitely for that matter, ever coming back to WWE. It's gone. I mean, he sold all his shares.
Oh, hold on. Do you hear that? That's your check in the mail from Triple H.
I'll take it, man. I'll take it. But in my opinion,
shout out to Osama bin Diesel, because he's the one that would have made that joke. Definitely would have made that joke. He was complaining every minute about people saying the Triple H era. At WrestleMania.
Oh, and I okay, so now that we brought up Osama bin Diesel, we have to bring up the Torinator about this one too. Because if you recall a few days ago, what was he talking about? He said that Vince McMahon should have never took him out, because Vince McMahon was perfect for WWE because he didn't give the fans what they wanted.
Oh.
He was trying to say that Vince McMahon not giving them what they wanted was a good thing, because the fans were going to keep tuning in, because they were going to eventually want to see what they wanted. I said, that sounds like an abusive relationship. Like, come on, man. Like, I brought him back to reality, because he tried to say, he tried to basically disparage it and say that, that Vince McMahon, was always, they didn't give them what they want. I said, Attitude Era, hello? I told them, I said, the Attitude Era was to the point where everybody had a storyline and everybody loved even the heels, because it was a different time back then. There wasn't social media, and there wasn't any kind of like outlet like that. We barely had the .com era at that time. It was in its infancy. So you don't come to me and say that, Vince McMahon being on TV, being the head of all that, like you can't give the fans what they want. Hello, the fans are what build the fan base of wrestling. If there's no fans, you're not going to have a product. So what do you have to do? You have to keep them happy. Like that. He was trying to do some insane mental gymnastics, and it didn't work. Ultimately, going back to what I was saying, I think McMahon, somebody trying to bring it back, it ain't happening. I think what is going to happen is beginning of next year. Don't be surprised if you see Vince McMahon try to bake another wrestling company.
Ooh.
Because I've been hearing it.
Work. I don't think that'll work, though.
It might not, but he's stubborn enough to try. Because
you know what he should do? Buy AEW.
Nah, yeah, I don't know if that would happen. But
or enter into a partnership with Tony Khan.
Can you imagine? Oh my God!
And then the storyline is he immediately fires Tony Khan.
Oh my God, that would be nuts.
Could you imagine the pop that would get? He said Tony Khan immediately shakes his hands, and then Vince says, "Tony, you just made the best deal of your life, because on the dotted line it says that I control 51 shares of this 51% of this company, which means, Tony, you're fired."
Oh my God, can you imagine? Like, you know what? Okay, I will say this. If that were to happen, that would be the biggest storyline. Would be the biggest storyline in the history of wrestling. Because that would mean not only did he acquire not one, but 2 TNT entities.
Woo! That's right.
That would be insane. So yeah, hey, you know what? I actually wouldn't mind that. I really wouldn't. But let me tell you, the morale of AEW will go to the floor, because basically everybody that tried to escape Vince McMahon would be right back. It would be like it would be right back. They would be like, "Oh my God, I want out of my contract." Nope, sorry, you're not going anywhere. No,
I will say this.
Actually, I want to correct something. That'll be their third time, because if you've seen the Dark Side of the Ring, he did acquire parts of. He did acquire the rights, the TV rights on TBS.
Oh, that's right, he did. Yes, you're right about that. Yes, you are right about that. Okay, I stand corrected. You're right. That was back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was
a good
back in-
episode. I recommend that everyone to watch.
Yeah, good call, man. I forgot about that. Good one.
Where he just showed up one Saturday. I want to say like, yeah, here we have Vince McMahon. Like, yes, here we are. Let's show you some more stuff. And they were not showing any Georgia wrestling. They call it the Dark Saturday on that episode of Dark Side of the Ring, where
Yes.
everyone complained, what's going on? Where the Georgia Wrestling Association or Georgia Championship Wrestling was called? Yeah, they were all complaining about it, and Vince was just showing video footage from other wrestling events that he had at. It wasn't WWF. It was another name, World Championship Wrestling or something like that, or Worldwide Champion, or Worldwide Wrestling.
World class championship wrestling.
World Class Wrestling. Okay. But yeah, it'll be a second. It'll be a third time. Let's see.
Let's see.
For the record, I don't see that happening. But I mean, hey, that would be pretty. I mean, I am the same guy that said that Cody Rhodes was going to take over Ring of Honor before he came back to WWE. So you know what? In hindsight, I'm super glad that didn't happen, because otherwise, I think Cody would have probably been out of AEW by now and floundered, or just would have been bitter and upset about himself, like I should have left when I had the chance.
Oh,
So-
for sure. Cody saw the writing on the wall. Cody had the foresight to realize this isn't going anywhere.
I am convinced because he's never exactly said what happened. He says that the only people that truly know what happened are him, Diamond Dallas Page, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Tony Khan are the only ones that really know what happened. I'm convinced that something had to have happened so bad that it made Cody, because Cody was one of the founders of AEW. By all accounts and purposes, I said he's going to be there for a long time. And 3 years. He was there 3 years. And bolted out of there. He checked out by like the end of 2021, dude. He was checked out. And in my opinion, Tony Khan must have done something to him that must have really upset him. Must have really upset Cody to the point where he said, "I'm done. I'm out of here."
He lowballed him on money.
Either he lowballed. You know what? I think it goes further than that. I think it really goes further than the money. I think there had to have been something else that happened. There had
Took away his creative control.
in part. Okay, but I don't even think it was that. I think there had to have been something more. It had to have been something blatantly disrespectful. He must have disrespected Brandy Rhodes. He must have done something. Because
look to me,
Possibly, yeah.
I'm gonna say this take on what Tony Khan is doing. He is doing something as us as fans we wish we could do. Is he gonna get it right 100%? And especially gonna get the respect from the guys who've done this for many years, working for a boss, and all of a sudden become a boss and having to get it right. I don't think he's gonna get it right always, and that's what we're seeing, unfortunately. But I think that this is a fan. Like if you and I were to say, here you go, you have billions of dollars, you can start this up, go for it, and then you have everybody on your back trying to say, no, you did it wrong, you did this wrong, you got to do this, you got to do this way, no, you got to do that way, no, you got to do this way. And at some point, you got to say, like, you know what, I'm gonna try to do it my way, and maybe things might not work out right, but I think it's a long run kind of a deal. And if I was a fan that all of a sudden got an opportunity to do that.
One thing I'll credit Vince on doing, and I don't mean to cut you off, Lou. One thing I'll credit Vince on doing is, if you listen to most of the stories of how Vince ran things, aside from the times where he got like super obsessed about like a specific idea wanting to get through, like if you hear about the Maximum Male models and what his inspiration was, he's like, oh man, Vince really wants this. Like this is his project. He's in on it. Every other story you hear about him is people pitching him ideas, and he'll either be like, that sucks, or we could do that better, or what about if that works? I like that. Let's give it to another guy. Give that to somebody else.
Yeah.
Like that's what he did that I think worked a lot better, where it was just he had final say on what goes down and what doesn't, but a lot of it was other people pitching stuff to him. And it created the air of like, yeah, let's see what you got, let's see what you got, let's see what you got, which is where some of the best ideas come from. But at least he understood. Yeah, I'm the final say. What I say goes. But you've got the floor. I'm willing to hear you out if you could tell me what you want. Just don't sneeze. Just don't sneeze.
Don't sneeze. Close the door.
Sneeze. Don't
Sign
sneeze
this,
and don't
sign
talk,
this agreement.
and don't include anything about burritos.
Yeah.
Sign this agreement.
Under 78. Hey, for the record, that is still, we are not the court of public opinion here, folks. We believe in due process, innocent until proven guilty. That is my commentary. Let the courts decide.
Yes. All right. So yeah, there we are. Those are our topics.
Hold on, guys. That's my check-in.
Thanks a lot, Ray. Thanks a lot, Rickard. Oh yeah. So again, everyone, this is our bit of a time to sit back, reflect, sit in the round table here, spreading out facts, opinions, and predictions as you've heard. So yeah. Now, we have a busy week next week. We have 2 prediction shows to get to. It's gonna be crazy.
I got a prediction. Lou won't be champion by the end of next week.
I got a prediction for you. You're gonna be wrong on that. It won't be you either.
We'll see, buddy. We will see.
Now, sorry again. Where were you at again?
Right, yeah. Where were you at? So the alien was to your left?
I don't know. I can't really talk about that.